All right, so we want to talk about how we are going to involve the community and our pie fans and people who are home bakers to help us figure out what the best flour is for us to use in our pie crust.
Yeah, so we want to know, share your favorite pie recipes, whole wheat flour pie recipes, whole wheat flour bread recipes. Share with us your favorite chefs, your favorite farmers, if you're involved in any kind of food co-ops that are interested in staple food crops and wheat cultivation. Share that with us. The more information that we have, the more vibrant this project can become. And stay tuned, because we will be involving the community here in Armada, Michigan, and then the greater food community who's interested in regionalizing the food system through our staple food crops. Yeah, there'll be plenty of room to get involved through kitchen trials, maybe some virtual baking opportunities.
For sure.
And what your favorite grains to grow are. And if you have any seeds to share, we've got plenty of space to grow out these grains and increase the seed stock. So that could be a great option to collaborate as well.
What kind of seeds did you start there in your seed garden?
So I have a Durham wheat, an Iraq Durham wheat. I have an Emmer wheat from Ethiopia. It's it's actually the first one that started to head in my garden. And it's a really beautiful, vibrant metallic blue color as it's starting to dry. And then I'm also growing the Sonoran white wheat, which is a soft spring wheat, which is one that we'll probably begin to use for pie crust.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I planted some wheat too here, but I'm really excited about it. Yeah. I've held it for a couple of years because it was so precious, and they only gave me a gram.
Yeah.
It's 20 seeds, and I went, this must be really, really super special.
They are.
I had emailed the Heritage Grain, Dr. Ellie Ragoza.
Yeah, her website is growseeds.org.
She was really cool, and I saw her on a documentary called Sustainable, and that really made a big impression on me. A few years ago, I watched that, and she was standing out in a field of Einkorn wheat with farmer Klaus Martin. He's probably 6'3", and it was, about shoulder height to him. And, and he was talking about the depth of the roots and the importance of how deep the roots are, and they're pulling up the nutrients. And that really impressed me, and it was such a beautiful field of Einkorn wheat. And he talked about, one seed producing hundreds of seeds. So that documentary, that was really pivotal for me. It's a wonder to me. I just think of the human health and the decline and the ill health that we have with diabetes and cancer and autism and all kinds of problems that we seem to be having. When I was a kid in school back in the 70s and 80s, I don't know of one kid that had a food allergy. I really don't. Not even a very common a peanut allergy. I talk to moms today, and they tell me that the office is just, EpiPen central. Just all these kids have peanut allergies and a squash, even though they do a GMO squash now. So now the kids have, a lot of kids have a squash allergy, wheat allergy, all kinds of allergies. What's going on?
And so that ties back into why we're seeing so much unhealthiness and so many allergies. Anytime you hear herbicide or Roundup or pesticide, what that means is life killer, biocides. Any kind of biocide is literally a life killer. And so when we're growing our food that's dependent on biocides, on the soil, on the plants, even through the processing, even through the ripening of some of our foods, that's what we put into our bodies, and that's not what we want to be putting into our bodies, and that's why we're seeing so much unhealthiness, because it's like a war on life itself by using these chemicals.
And what's the cost of this cheap food? With Monsanto patenting the seed, they really pushed it out to the farmers.
Yes, they did.
And 40% of our farm subsidies go to two crops, GMO corn and GMO soy. And in the grocery store, anything that's on the shelves or in a crinkly bag or any of the junk food that we Americans eat, I'm going to guarantee you it's either got high fructose corn syrup in it or GMO soybean oil. And the package and the label won't say GMO soybean oil or GMO high fructose corn syrup. They don't have to claim it on the label. which really upsets me. But that's the lobbyists have a lot of money, and they're paying the politicians tons of money to make sure that that legislation doesn't go through, to have to claim it on your label and be transparent.
It'd be a whole different food system if you had to label all of those things. And if the folks that were just growing food beyond organic could just put sugar, could just put corn, just exactly what it is.
Yeah. Now the onus is on us
Yes.
to say it's non-GMO sugar or non-GMO corn syrup. You know, we have to put it on our label. Now it's turned on its head.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate you being here. And Francis and I have a lot more to talk about. So on your way out, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and we'll see you next week. Bye.